All right, all right. We're live. Coming in today. Um, Everybody, back to What If Studios. We got a pop review with author Derrick Davis, creator of the book "Sports: The Preparation for Life." This book breaks down how discipline, teamwork, adversity, and commitment in sports translate into real life success. Derrick, thank you for being here, man. I want to get started out asking you a little bit about your background, kind of a little small bio, where you're from, things of that nature.
Okay, sounds good, man. Thank you for having me, brother.
You're welcome. All right, so where exactly are you from, Mr. Davis?
Born and raised in Abbeville, Alabama, small town in the southeast corner of the state of Alabama.
Okay, okay, all right. So I know you played sports there. What particular sports did you play in Abbeville?
Growing up as a youth, man, I played basketball, baseball, and football, all the way up to I think about my 11th grade year. In my senior year, I chose basketball. Chose to just stick with basketball.
Okay, okay. So what helped you make that decision to choose basketball, and what helped you say, "Hey, I think I want to go all in on basketball"?
At that particular time, man, we were coming off the summer, going into trying to make a state championship run in '96 that year. So that played probably one the number one reason why I decided to choose basketball. And then just so happened I was fortunate enough to be able to get a couple college looks. So I just decided, hey, I might as well go all in on basketball, which uh, was the right decision at the end of the day. So.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So with that being said, just looking at Abbeville basketball, um, and as you look back on those times, what are some of the most memorable things that kind of stood out about your high school basketball career?
Um, I think the grind of it all, man. A lot of people don't know, when we first got into high school, high school, our ninth grade year in Miss Andrews' class. They get to passing out the flyers for class rings. Get to telling you how much the class ring is gonna be. And me and Chris was in English class, and we decided then that we was gonna make our class ring become our state championship ring. So that's the first thing that stood out. And I think the grind of it all from, failing, getting to the regional finals, our 10th and 11th grade year, failing, that's a part of the grind. So that's probably a memorable thing for us as well. But the grind of it all, man, just going from ground zero, then getting all the way to the state championship. I think that's the most memorable thing. The relationships you build with your teammates. That's another thing. And just being able to be beside those guys and just go through the grind of it all. Ultimately reach that goal. So,
Okay, okay, awesome. I'm from the same town, and
yep,
I
yep,
know that Abbeville over the past, I want to say 30, 40 years have had some awesome teams. So,
absolutely.
what made your team, the 1996 state championship team, stand out?
Um, man, I think most of us did our homework, man. Like you said, the basketball is so rich in the area, man, especially Abbeville. There was a lot of good teams that came before us. Me and a few guys, one in particular, Terry Spann, we used to study those guys before us, man. We used to study. We used to be at the games trying to get those guys wristbands. You know what I mean? After the game, how
Hmm. Yeah.
um, and that kind of helped us, man. We made a decision that we saw those teams get to the right to the to the championship. Some did, and some fell a little bit short as far as the regional goes. But we didn't want to be one of those teams, so we kind of studied those teams. And um, at the end of the day, man, we wanted to be the one who bring it back home. That became just as important as anything else during those times, during those young days. So
Yeah.
um, Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, like around the time that you graduated, and you especially before that time period, when did it hit you? With basketball, I have something special. Now, I don't know if you were in the middle school or you were high school, or did anybody tell you, "Hey, man, Derek, you're special. You're a special athlete." When did you know, "Hey, man, I'm really good at basketball"?
To be honest, man, I don't think I don't think I really felt that outside of family or outside of Abbeville until college. I'll be honest with you, man. My dad came to me, I think, my sophomore, junior year, and was like, "Look, if you want to go to college, you're gonna have to get a scholarship." So I
Yeah,
think at that particular time, I might have knew in my mind that I did have something special, but I knew I had a lot of work to do to try to get out of Abbeville and put it like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Growing up, I mean, competing against those guys in city league. Um, I mean, I think I always knew I was a pretty good athlete, but not in particular a good basketball player. Maybe until my dad kind of spoke to me about that. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of highs and lows,
yeah.
especially your senior year and junior year. Let's talk about state championship year. What is one of the most challenging moments that year?
Um, for me, my sophomore and junior year, I was more of a. I think I was put in a position. Maybe let me say it like this: I was put in a position to maybe score a lot more.
Okay,
Coming up into our senior year, I think uh and I also played the point guard my 10th, 11th grade year. My senior year, we had some very very talented players, specifically our starting five. And, we had Mike Williams. Mike Williams became our point guard, so I
yeah,
became something like a point forward at that time. So I think for me, that was the most challenging thing, trying to see how I fit in playing off the ball because the first 2 years I was the main one with the ball. So that was kind of challenging.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Kind of walk us through maybe your first offer, college offer, and what kind of made you make the decision about what college you want to go to.
Oh, okay. Man, I was a Mississippi State guy, man. Mississippi State recruited me my 11th grade year. And no, I was kind of set on them. I was set on trying to go to Mississippi State. Now, in mine, I have been to Alabama basketball camp all my years. I've probably been to Alabama basketball camp all those years, but I never got a call from Alabama.
Yeah.
So Mississippi State was my first college that recruited me. Of course, back then we had to pass the ACT.
Yeah.
So I had a few issues with the ACT and ended up having to go to junior college route. But Mississippi State was the first original college that recruited me, and that's the first college I actually wanted to go to.
Okay. Okay. Man, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Um, and and when you went to junior college, kind of walk us through how junior college was in those days. I know it might be a little different nowadays, but kind of what your experience was in junior college.
It's kind of like starting over again, man. Starting over your career again. You meet new people. I went to Kansas, so I went pretty far away from home. You know,
Okay.
um, so you meet new people, and it's like you compete for spots again. You don't know it. You don't know anybody. You're trying to learn everybody, and you kind of going against these guys every day. It was very competitive, from a athletic standpoint and academically as well. Because one of the things my coach told me is I was not playing hard. I was not studying hard. So I,
Mm.
I was going through high school thinking I'm working hard and
Yeah.
playing hard, and you get to college and it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So uh, junior college is it's a bunch of guys from different. I think back then, since I was in Kansas, we were only allowed 5 out of state guys. The
Okay.
other 7 guys were from Kansas.
Okay.
So
Okay.
luckily, I had the other 4 guys were from Mississippi, so we could
Okay.
kind of relate a little bit. We could relate
Yeah.
a little bit. But it was different. It was cold out there. It was very very challenging, and it kind of woke me up of how this next level of basketball was going to be.
Yeah.
Because when you get to that level, the whole team is good. You don't have just 4 or 5, 6 guys. Everybody can play on that level. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I could see that being, like I said, a grind, going
yep,
through that, like the junior college ranks. Like I said, everybody's trying to make it.
yep,
And then
absolutely,
you fighting, fighting for your position. So,
yep.
all right, once you made it to the junior college level, did you begin to get noticed at that level, or were there some old people who had noticed you from to help you get on to your next level, your next step in college?
Well, actually, man, when you get to that step, man, it's kind of I had a good relationship with the coaches.
Okay.
One of the guys who recruited me was from Mississippi, so I had a good relationship with him. When you get to that level, man, it's all about and like I speak about in the book, it's all about when I was coming up, my dad taught me how to work on my game. So when
Yeah.
you get to that level, it's all about the time you spend in the gym, how much you're working on the craft. Because like I say, everybody fight for a position.
Yeah.
Um, I was able to my first year, I was able to have a pretty good year, and then the sophomore year, it kind of became my team in a
Okay.
sense. So I uh I had a great year my sophomore year going into the recruiting time.
Yeah.
So me spending just that grind and working on my game, man, it helped me get noticed.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of Division Ones actually, that still remembered me from high school. So
Yeah.
I had a bunch of those guys who just kind of came back and kind of recruited me then, but a
Okay.
bunch of new schools as well. So yeah, it,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So what the school that you finally decided at the end to go to, 4 year school, what made them stand out to you?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I went on my visit to Arizona State, man. I went on a few different visits, man. But man, I went on that visit to Arizona State. Just the weather, the environment, uh, my teammates, the
Yeah.
guys who were eventually become my teammates, they was taking me out and
Yeah.
just everything about Arizona, man, I love, man. I just could not leave. I didn't want to, I made the decision before I left. I was like, yep, I'm coming here. I'm
Okay.
coming here. So
Okay.
it was just the environment. It was a beautiful place, man. Beautiful place,
Mm.
wonderful people. So yeah.
Okay. And I know that probably was an adjustment for you,
Oh,
going
yeah.
out to Arizona, you being from a small town,
Yeah.
getting to the people, and then also that big university. Um,
Yep.
I want to ask you, once you got out there, what were some of the challenging things you had to deal with moving into Arizona State like that?
Man, when I first got there, I was still only 18. I didn't turn 19 till I think another month or two. So
Wow.
I'm still a kid out there, I'm still a kid. It's different because you're on your own now.
Yeah.
You're pretty much on your own. We lived in apartments. So
Yeah.
I'm coming from Abbeville. I was used to living with mom. Then, same thing
Yeah.
when I went to junior college, you're still living in kind of dorm. But
Yeah.
when I went to Arizona State, it was an apartment. So, you're trying to make that adjustment of being on your own. You can't work a lot, so the challenges of trying to save money and being able to eat every day. Trust me, I was calling home a lot. I was calling
Yeah.
home a lot.
Yeah.
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 Academically, the reason I always say academically because you got to handle those things yourself.
Yeah.
You once you get to that level, man, it's kind of like a schedule. You got study hall, you got practice, you got conditioning, you got weights, got all these things you got to be to, and you got to be there on time. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I think being in that schedule every day, that was kind of challenging at first. But
Yeah.
once you get accustomed to doing it, it becomes second nature, man. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Being 1,000 miles away from home, you can't just go in, you got to call mom and dad. You can't just go in the next room and they there now. So
Yeah.
not having a lot of family there, man, basketball kept me so grounded, man, because all that stuff was getting to me. So once I became like, look, I'm just gonna work on my game. I used to go to the gym. I stayed in the gym a lot
Yeah.
just to kind of take away a lot of time of just being by myself.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. That
and
makes a lot of sense,
another
man.
Yeah.
When
Another
you
thing
hear
I'll
like,
say too,
go ahead.
the campus was so big. It was so big. I had to ride a bike around the campus. So
Wow.
I'm riding a little. At that time, you riding a little BMX. Uh,
Yeah.
you gotta lock your bike up because people, if you got a nice bike, people will
Yeah.
take your bike. So that was challenging trying to get around the campus. But like I said, the more and more I did it, I became accustomed to it. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
And I know you got while you out there, you got to play against a lot of probably guys that are famous now. Can you think of
absolutely.
maybe some memorable games or memorable people that you got a chance to play against out there?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Um, the first game I can remember is playing UCLA in Pauley Pavilion, which is in LA, which is in Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Uh, I was just out there shooting around, man, messing around before the game. I was getting out a little early, and the late Bill
Oh,
Walton came up to me, interviewed me before their game.
yeah.
He was asking me about Abbeville. So
Yeah.
right there, I was, man, yeah, it give me chills to this day. Still thinking and talking about it. And I
Yeah.
swear, man, he was so tall, man. I was like, golly, he was so tall. Um, but that interview and then getting out there and performing against the guys like Derrick Davis, who ended up playing a lot of the NBA, Earl
Okay.
Watson, Dan
Wow.
Gazzuric, Jerron Rush, all those guys eventually went to the NBA.
Oh, wow.
That was actually my best game in the Arizona State uniform.
Wow. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
I think I
awesome.
had about eight. I think I had about 18 points, 8 rebounds against that game. We lost to them in overtime, but yeah, that was my best game in Arizona State, man. I still
Wow.
got a picture. I still
Yeah.
got a picture with Barry Davis when
Oh
I was getting
wow.
ready to lay the ball up, and he was right on my side. So um, that was the first, probably the game I remember the most. It
Yeah.
was it was against some guys that end up going to the NBA, having great careers. So
Wow. Wow.
the
Man.
second game, man, I think probably would be Arizona. Arizona was number one. We playing them
Yeah.
at Arizona. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Wow.
playing them at Arizona State, actually in Tempe. They were number one, man, and we had these guys 10. We was up 10 with 2 minutes to go, man.
Wow.
This is the year. This might be the year they won. They won the national championship. They
Oh,
had
okay.
Jason. They had
Yeah.
Jason Terry.
Was it Mike
I
Bibby
think
and
I
all them
got.
guys?
Yeah, Mike Bibby, them, all them guys. That year, right, they had two big guys as well. I can't think of the name though. But
Yeah.
man, we had them. We had them, man. We had them. They
Wow.
came back. They came back and beat us by two.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I never forget this play. Jason Terry had got a steal, and I was coming up behind him, and I just let him go up and dunk the ball. Right, my
Yeah.
coach is on me. He was like, "Man, why you even foul him? You just can't let them guys come in here and just go up and dunk the ball." In which he
Yeah.
was right. But at
Yeah.
that particular time, I wasn't thinking, man. I was not thinking
Yeah.
about it. I was, yeah, in the moment.
Yeah.
But those two games stand out a lot, man. We had a lot of good games, man. I played against a lot of guys who ended up going to the NBA.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. So after you kind of wrapped up your career at Arizona State, what did you go to do after Arizona State?
Actually, man, after Arizona State, man, my mom did not get a chance to see me play a lot
Mhm.
when I was gone my first 3 years of college. Um, so what I ended up doing is I came back to Troy for my last year. I came
Okay.
back to Troy for my last year, being how close Troy is, being 45
Yeah.
minutes away from Abbeville.
Yeah.
She got a chance to see me play a lot my senior year. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So kind of just walk me through your senior year. Kind of anything you remember that stand out about your senior year in college?
Oh man, Troy. We never got a chance. I never got a chance to experience the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
I think we made it to the NIT at Arizona State, but I never got a chance to experience that. Experience that. So coming into my senior year, it's harder. It's harder to do it from Troy, but that was kind of a goal for us. That was kind of a goal to see if we can win the conference tournament. Man, we got one game away. Man, we lost in the conference championship game to make it to the tournament.
Oh man.
So that first and foremost stands out for my senior year at Troy. Uh, Troy is kind of because I ended up playing a couple years professionally after that. Troy's
Okay.
become I think is when I became a professional. What I mean
Okay.
by that is I learned how to play multiple positions because coming out of high school, I was always a point guard.
Yeah.
Then when I went to college, I had to play the two and the three.
Yeah.
Fortunately, at Troy, I was able to play multiple. I was able to play the one sometime. I was able to play the two, the three. So I learned how to play with my back against the basket. I
Hmm.
learned how to come off screens a lot more. And also I learned how to pretty much develop that professional point guard
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. So Troy was kind of a place where I learned how to become a professional. We had a lot of guys that could play on that team. A lot of great games, a lot of competition.
Hmm.
And I had a guy named Lamaine Wilson, who I played with my senior year, who kind of pushed me. That's when we kind of worked on our game a lot, worked on our game, worked on the craft, spent a lot of time in the gym.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing I can say about playing my senior year at Troy is that's when I became a professional.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now you said you play professional ball. So can you fill us in a little bit about your professional career and some of the beginning of your professional career and how did how did that work out and how did you get found?
Actually, man, I was my route was a little different. My route was a little different. Usually, when you come out of college, uh,
Hmm.
some guys already have deals. Some
Right.
guys get signed up with agents. I ended up going to play with. Actually, I played with Chris in the
Okay.
CBA up in
Okay.
the with the Dakota Wizards.
Okay.
At the time, the CBA was what the D League is now. I mean, I think they call it the G League. The
D League.
CBA was that, so it was right up under the NBA.
Okay.
Uh, so I ended up going out there playing a season, meeting a couple of guys, networking, and the coach of that team. I can't remember Watson. I can't remember. I think his name might have been Brian Walsh or Brian Watson.
Hmm.
He kind of gave me my first gig overseas.
Okay.
I was over in Finland. I ended up leaving Dakota Wizards, playing over
Hmm.
in Europe in Finland with the Salu Vilpas, which is I think it's Salu, Finland. I think that's what it's called.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, that's different. That's different over there. That's
Yeah.
because you pretty much going through an entire cultural shock. I mean, can't speak the language.
Yeah.
Um, they drive differently over there. The steering wheel might be on the other side instead of on, we're accustomed to driving on this side. The steering wheel might be on that side.
Yeah.
Um, Going shopping, going to get your food. All those things are different, man. Luckily, I had a
Mhm.
translator and I had a few people. I had another American on my team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those things are different, but the game's still the same. The
Okay.
game's still the same. Um, but like I said, now you're a professional. Now you have to do all these things on your own.
Yeah.
Like I got to go to the gym on my own. I got to find a weight room on my own. I got to get all those things done on my own, not more of like a team concept. When you're in college, everybody doing that as a team,
Yeah.
unless you're just doing extra work. But when I
Yeah.
went to Europe, I had to do all those things on my own, man.
Yeah.
The food was different, but it was good, man. I enjoyed that, man. It's different. It's different, but I loved every bit of it.
Okay.
I loved every bit of it. Yeah.
Okay. So you played the game basically at all levels, man. From like you said, from high school to college to professional. So just in looking at that, what kind of mindset would you give some of these younger players today? When looking at playing at all these different levels, what kind of advice would you give a young player coming out of high school? Trying to get seen by colleges or want to have a professional career, what kind of advice would you give them?
Word of advice I would give them is always work on your craft. The hard you get out of this game what you put into it. All
Okay.
right, and I think the the more time you work on the craft when no one's around, the more it will show when everybody's around, if you know what I mean.
Got you.
Um,
Makes sense.
yes, you got to have a tough, you got to have a strong mindset. You know, they say mental toughness.
Yeah.
Mental toughness is very important because you're going to be challenged. You're going to be challenged from coaches, other players. So you definitely got to be mentally strong.
Yeah.
Um, the physical part of it, being in shape, all those things play a part too. All those
Yeah.
things play a part. Uh, now we, I think the younger guys are more set on the NBA. No,
Mm-hmm.
they're more set on the NBA. Um, all of us don't make it to the NBA, you know, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't play professional basketball.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many other options out there for you. I get
Yeah.
it. I was one of those kids too who dreamed, I wanted to play in the NBA, but the closer and closer you get to it, you understand that, that may not happen. But if you want to play this game on a professional levels, it's so many other opportunities right now. So keep an open mind on that part, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think we always get caught up in on playing, the Division 1 level. Kids get
Mm-hmm.
caught up in going to Division 1. Uh, now I'm gonna give you a stat. I don't want people to think I'm hating or I'm trying to tell kids, that they can't make it. But it's only 1%. 1% of high school players make it to Division 1 level.
Wow.
But if you look at it though, look how many guys go professionally from the D2, the
Yeah.
D3, the NAIA schools.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. It's a lot of people who still make it to the professional level.
Yeah.
So if you're coming out of high school and you want to go play professionally, keep an open mind because you don't have to go Division 1 just to do that. You can go
Mm-hmm.
D2. I think
Mm-hmm.
coming out of high school, the goal should be, um, do you want to get your school paid for?
Yeah.
It's a lot of schools that can do that. You can go
Yeah.
D2, you can go D3, you can still go those routes, get your school paid for, and
Yeah.
go on and have a great professional career.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest advice I would give them is have an open mind. Have an
Yeah.
open mind. It's not a straight route. It's not a straight route to the professional level. It might be a few detours that you have to take, but it does not mean that you can't make it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So looking at your book, just what kind of inspired you to begin to write this book?
Um, well, man, I've been writing for a long time, low key. Nobody just never knew I was doing it. I've been
Yeah.
writing for a long time, probably since maybe my senior year of high school. My first year in college, my second year of college, I actually wrote for the school newspaper in
Okay.
college. So
Okay.
I got a few articles there then. So I always was a writer low key. And one day, man, um, I was just trying to figure out something else that I could give back. Something else I could give back. And I decided to write this book because uh, I felt like I had mastered the craft enough to be able to write this book and give back the things I learned, the struggles, and the mindset you got to have, to play sports.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always had this saying, that sports was the preparation for life, you know. So one day, man, I'm just sitting down. I was at the library where I live at in Indiana, and I decided, maybe I should just write this book. And
Yeah.
man, I just did it. I just did it, man. I did it, and I did it, hoping that people could, get the same qualities, the same things I learned through my sports career that's helping me now in my everyday life.
Okay.
So,
Awesome. I don't want to sound too repetitive, but I just want to ask you this question: like, what moment in your life made you realize sports can get people prepared for the real world?
man, when I got finished dribbling the ball, when I stopped dribbling the ball, I was like, "What's next? Like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do next?" You know, And I became a coach trying to do it that way, and just trying to figure out different ways. And I was sitting down, man, and um, I thought about it. I was like, man, you know how you feel in that last suicide. Coach Knight had you run that last suicide, and you
Yeah.
like, man, I can't do it. I can't make it. I'm too tired.
Yeah.
And I think I was kind of at that moment in life, and I was like, in the same mindset, the same things I had to push myself to get through that suicide. I realized I had to do that same thing in life.
Yeah.
And it kind of pushed me over that hump on what I wanted to do and kind of how I wanted to do it.
Okay. Okay. Now I know you just mentioned a coach, but was there a specific coach or a person in your life that helped you shape that message?
Man, I think I still, man, I got to go back to my dad, man. I got to.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that question a long time, man. And I had some great coaches. Not
Yeah.
to, but man, it was my dad, man, because my dad put the ball in my hand.
Yeah.
Now, at that particular time when he did it, I had no idea that I'd be writing a book about it.
Yeah.
But I have to go back to my dad, man, because my dad kind of put that ball in my hand. He showed me how to work on the craft. And
Okay.
with putting that in mind, I think all those things he showed me, all those things he instilled in me, are still the same things that I have to do today.
Yeah.
You know, whatever job I'm doing, I was a teacher for a little while.
Yeah.
Those same things I had to instill into when I had to at nighttime. I forgot the things you have to do to prepare to teach a lesson plan.
Lesson
Lesson
plan.
plan. All those things that he instilled brought me right back to what I was doing in my everyday life. So I have to give my dad credit, and I have to actually thank him, man, for doing that because
Yeah.
um, basketball took me beyond just putting the ball through the net. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So when he was teaching you this game of basketball, did you think he was just teaching you a game, or did you know he was teaching you about life?
And in the beginning, I just thought, he was trying to get me to be the best basketball player I could possibly be. I had no idea, that those things would end up turning to life qualities. I had no
Yeah.
idea about that then. I
Yeah.
was just trying to be the best basketball player. And then he was, when I told you, he was like, if you want to go beyond just around here to go to school, you got to go get a scholarship.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, that's kind of like him telling me anything I wanted to do in life, I had to go for it.
Yeah.
So I think it was levels to it, but I had no idea until I became an adult, what he was trying to tell me about this game of basketball.
Okay. Okay. So in parts of your book, you talk about discipline, you talk about pressure, you talk about maturity. Um, which of these do you believe are the most important for young people to try to strive for today?
The first thing I think is discipline, man. I think it's discipline because nowadays, these kids they're attracted and have so many other things around them that we didn't have growing up. So I think discipline is the first thing because in order to make it in this craft and make it in this life successfully, you got to be disciplined. You gotta be able to tell yourself, no, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do tonight. I need to focus on what I'm trying to accomplish. So discipline be the first thing. Um, Maturity, I think maturity kind of comes as you live.
Mm,
Some of us, grow faster than others.
mhm.
I know, but I think if you stay in tune with yourself and just work as hard as you possibly can, I think you mature as you grow.
Okay.
So
Okay.
uh, another lesson I would try to tell the young people is resilience.
Yeah.
You gotta be resilient right now because, like I was saying earlier, the road to this is not always going to be straight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of adversity that you face in life and you
Hmm.
face in the game. You got to be able to push through that adversity and keep going. One thing I want young people to know is nobody who ever lived this life lived a perfect life.
That's
No
true.
matter what you see on TV or the end result, They don't show you the adversity that they have to go through. But trust me, everybody go through adversity. I think the difference is how you're gonna handle it and how you're gonna approach it. Are you gonna let adversity stop you, or are you gonna push through the adversity and continue to strive to become what you're trying to become?
Okay. Awesome, man. Awesome. And I know you talk about adversity in your book, and you said that adversity shapes champions.
Yeah.
So what type of adversity did you go through? I know you guys 1996 y'all won the state championship. What type of adversity did you guys go through?
I would think those first, if I'm gonna speak on the high school career leading up to 1996, I would think those 2 years of losing. I mean, because if you look at it, we was right in the regional finals. The next step after that is state. So losing, I can remember, man. I can remember riding the bus back home, and you get home, you got to see the score and the highlights again on the news. We always made it home early for that. And man, I can remember just crying like a baby, just not being able to get over that hump. So I think that was a form of adversity in a sense, because I thought we had good teams during those years.
Yeah.
Thought we had great teams, so we easily could have won.
Yeah.
That was adversity. Then coming up into the senior year, excuse me, coming up into the senior year, I'm gonna tell a story on here that nobody knows. A lot of people don't know outside of that team. I'm gonna tell a story on here. Okay, man, we got to the state. All right, got to the state.
Yeah.
The first game, me and Chris get into foul trouble, right?
Yeah.
So everybody immediately think, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay. Our teammates stepped up. They stepped up tremendously and helped and carried us through that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I ain't gonna name the two guys out, but okay, we get to this championship game. Guys do different things.
Yeah.
Okay, so two guys get caught smoking cigarettes, right? Listen, man, you know how crazy people are. Two guys get caught by Coach Knight, right?
Yeah.
Coach Knight was about to bring us home. Coach Knight played a serious mind game with us on this.
Yeah.
He was like, nope. I'm sending those two guys home. We're gonna play without those two guys. I'm sending them home.
Yeah.
And one of our players stepped up and told Coach Knight, Coach Knight, if you send us home, if you send those two guys home, you have to send all of us home. So, Coach Knight was like, okay. So he did not send us home, as you can see, but we had to run. We had to run up at the state, man.
Wow.
The whole team had to pay the price for those two guys getting in trouble.
Wow.
And we was willing to pay the price because we all made it there together. And there's no way we was not gonna finish that, with everybody.
Yeah.
But Coach Knight being the adult, we still had to pay the price for it.
Yeah.
I can remember getting up at 5:30 in the morning, running the Birmingham Civic Center, the steps at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center.
Wow.
But the good moment out of that was after we finished, we all ended up down at the pool. It was a pool in the hotel. We all ended up at that pool together, and I knew right then and there that we was gonna win because everybody was willing to sacrifice it all for each other. So
yeah. Man, that's awesome.
So,
man. So when someone reads your book, what do you think that they'll take from this book? What do you think will hit for them in this book?
I'm hoping people take away what actually lessons that sports do prepare you for. What you get out of sports. Let me say it like that. What you get out of sports. Now, with that being said, I don't want anybody to read this book and just think, well, I can just go play sports my whole entire high school career, just go show up, not put anything into it, and still get the lessons that sports. Get the overall thing that sports prepares you for.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what this book is saying. Now, I'm not saying you have to be an all-star, you have to be a great player, but you do have to put something into it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you won't know what adversity is. You won't understand the life lessons that this will give you.
Yeah.
Okay, so reading this book, I think probably the biggest thing that I want people to get out of it is um, just as well as you go through adversity in sports. Uh, some of us athletes that play this game or play these sports, um, this is all sometime that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of us don't know what the next step in life is.
Yeah.
Where is that being on going to do a career, um, going on to be a coach, going on to be in business, going on to help youth, whatever they may be. The lessons that you learn growing, playing sports are the same lessons that you would take into your livelihood, your career, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish after sports. This book is like a guide. It's like a guide. It will help anybody take the next steps from sports to their everyday life,
Okay.
whether that's discipline, resilience, the mentality. This book will guide you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, man, it's awesome you say that, man, because I had been coaching, man, for the past decade.
Yeah.
All levels, man. I coached all levels from little league to high school to everything.
Yep.
And a lot of parents will come in and say, man, my kid, my son, or child, or whatnot, they are just on the team. They ain't even
Mhm.
getting in the game. How they gonna get looks? I'm spending money, send them to camps, this, that, and the other. Um, what do you think? I mean, I know you were a star on your teams. What do I tell a parent that have just have a kid and they're spending a lot of time, a lot of energy getting that kid, and they're not really getting they obviously are not a star and may not be able to go to the next level. What can I tell a parent that their kid is going to get from a sport?
Okay, that's a great question. Great question. Um, when I first started AAU, man, I was looking, I was in a thin line of should I get the best players or should I
Mhm.
just get players? Period. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you from that standpoint, I think parents got to have to understand that um, from the sport aspect, everybody's not going to make it to the next level.
Yeah.
That's not to knock any kids. That's not to down talk any kids. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Your kid might not be getting in the game a lot.
Yeah.
What is your kid doing in practice though? What
Mm-hmm.
is he doing when he's at home? What is he doing? See, all those things play in the factor of what the kid gets out of this sport.
Yeah.
Because if you're working hard, right? That doesn't if you're working hard, it's a lot of more guys that's maybe more talented, right? But if
Mm-hmm.
you're working hard, you understand that. And what I mean by that, say you get in practice, you're working your butt off. Your presence, your presence going against these guys in practice, pushing them is just as important as them stepping on the floor, putting the ball in the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a team sport,
Yeah.
right? It's a team sport. So what guys gain from sitting on the bench, from maybe not getting in the game, is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership comes in many forms. Okay, you may be just sitting on the bench cheering for your teammate, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, but what goes on behind the scenes, like in practice, is he pushing you? Are you pushing him? See, all those things play in a part, play in a factor.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get on the floor, trust me.
Yeah.
But guess what? I bet a lot of guys come back and tell you that high school sports. Sports were a big factor in the next step of their career because it's other things that you learn from it. You learn leadership, you learn discipline. So those parents have to understand that no matter if your player is playing 5 minutes or 30 minutes, if he's working hard, he's still getting those same qualities and those same lessons that the guy is that plays 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It's the same
Mhm.
thing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of how hard is the person working. Like I said, it's not about playing time.
Mhm.
Because if you're working, that means you're getting better at the skill. Getting better at the skill does not also mean that you're going to be a professional at the skill.
Yeah.
But it also learns you, look, I worked this hard. I got better in 3 years. No matter how you look at it, I got better. I might didn't get as better as the more talented guys, but I got better. And those particular instances, those particular lessons help these guys when they become lawyers, when they become doctors. You know, those are the lessons. So I think if you're gonna the message to those parents is if this guy comes in and work hard every day, doesn't matter if he touched the court or not, he still will benefit from playing this game, from playing sports.
Okay. Man, that's awesome you said that. I want to ask you this question. So if people want to get the book, where can they go and get the book at?
Actually, you can get a book on Amazon, man. You can go on Amazon right now, put in sports to preparation for life, and it'll come right up.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna put it out on social media soon. I will also have the book on my own website here coming up probably toward the end of this month, beginning of February. So they also be able to go to my website and just purchase it from there as well.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So,
So after this book, do you see another book coming in you soon? Or I know you write all the time, so
man,
you gonna follow it up with
man,
another one?
man, I got so many other books that I'm trying to work on. But my
Yeah.
next one, I got a kid book I'm gonna do called The Gift of Food.
Uh-huh.
And just pretty much going over the benefits of food and how healthy different foods supposed to be for you.
Awesome.
Um, I'm gonna do a coloring book for that too. But man, I'm also too, man. I don't know if people know this, but I got a company, my book company, Innovative Writings. I
Okay.
signed a guy from man, doggone, what I word from so many things running, but I can't even think of the name of the doggone country I just signed it from. But anyway, I just signed a guy from overseas. He's uh he's a writer as well. He got a couple books coming up soon too.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to put out more motivational books, and I'm also gonna try to become I'm gonna try to start speaking to youth.
Speaking.
Try to start doing
Yeah.
motivational speaking. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be a
start
great
doing
lane
that,
for you,
man.
man. Great
Yeah.
lane. Tell me something about it. I see you got your wave brand on, man. Tell me a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit how you got there started, man, and tell me a little bit about that.
Man, man, we were my the summer before my senior year. I played on the AAU team called the Wiregrass Wave, right?
Okay. Okay.
Wiregrass Wave. Um, that kind of started. That kind of started, man. I was when I got to Kentucky, what 14, 15 years ago. I was trying to go. I was going to jump into coaching, and you start ordering uniforms for your team. And I was like, hold on, man. And it came to me. The wave came to me then. But it started out as just a team name.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about it, man, and just start writing stuff down. And I came up with Wave Brand.
Okay.
Wave stands for winners achieve victory every day.
Okay.
So when you start looking around at all the different brands, the Nikes, the Adidas, I'm not nowhere near them yet. That's my goal too, but I'm not nowhere near them yet. Uh,
Yeah.
you kind of look at what they stand for.
Yeah.
And I wanted Wave to stand for something, stand for what I represent and what I try to inspire people to do every day.
Yeah.
So just like Nike has just do it, our slogan is inspiration creates empowerment.
Okay.
So every day I just wanted to kind of inspire people, no matter what they're trying to do in their life, just inspire to be the best version of themselves and to keep pushing to accomplish whatever their goal is. So
Okay.
that's how I came up with Wave, man. Wave is now um, we're working on this All-Star game. Working on this All-Star game down in the Wiregrass too. We
Okay.
just had a meet. We just had a meeting with Troy University. We're trying to get it there. We're
Okay.
pretty close. Called
Okay.
Wave Brand 24.
Yeah.
Um, just 24 players from the first 12 players are coming from the Super 12. You know that the Dove Eagle do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to take those 12 players, then get another 12 from the Montgomery, uh, Wetumpka, Prattville area, and have an
Mhm.
all-star game in Troy. We don't
Oh,
really never have a lot of exposure for our Wiregrass area. So I'm going to
yeah.
start trying to do a lot of stuff to get exposure for those players from down there.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
So,
I want to ask you this, probably my last question, but
okay.
I'm kind of a basketball historian, and
Yep.
just looking at Abbeville basketball, man. Give me your top 5 players of the time period of the whole time period that you can remember. Give me the top 5 guys.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, man, the best player I ever saw from Abbeville was Greg Grimsley,
Greg,
man.
Greg Grimsley.
I got to
Okay,
give Greg. Yeah, Greg was. I mean, I think Greg got to be in everybody's top 5. You know,
got to be,
uh,
got to be.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Greg. I'll go with. I'll go with David Graham.
Okay,
David Graham. Um, Dexter Grimsley.
okay, okay.
Um, Man, I'm gonna put my cousin in there. I'm gonna put
Okay.
Clarence Davis Jr. Clarence Davis
Okay.
Jr. And I'm gonna put him in there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I'll throw. Man, I'm gonna throw Anthony McNeely in there.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason I'm gonna say that is because everybody can talk, but who else was shooting like Anthony McNeely? I
None.
mean, he was stealth before we even thought about stealth. If you look at it,
But wow.
yeah. I mean, he was shooting. I remember they used to look at him down there at the Civic Center like he was crazy because he
Yeah.
was just so far from the 3-point line.
Wow.
He probably wasn't taking as many threes as Steph, but
Yeah.
as the
Yeah.
range, yes, he was definitely hitting those shots back there.
Wow, man, that's amazing,
Yeah,
man. That is
yeah,
amazing. That is amazing, man. Hey, man, that's so awesome, man. It's a powerful conversation, man. I really appreciate you joining me today, man, and enlighten all the viewers and everybody, man, about your book, about your sports story, and everything about, like I said, the preparation for life, man. It's so awesome, man. I'm glad you blessed me.
man, man. I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Anything else you like to add, man?
Um, I mean, and I would just say to the audience, no matter what you're going through right now, I know a lot of people going through different stuff. The world is in, they doing, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. But stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish. Stay focused on it. It's easy to get sidetracked. Stay focused, be inspired, bless other people, inspire other people, and just keep going. Keep going. It is a light at the end of that tunnel.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All my viewers, man, was here with Derrick Davis, man. I want you guys to go on there, like and subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. This interview will be showed, be posted. So I really appreciate Derrick Davis today for coming in and sharing this time with us.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me, man. Have a good one, man.
All right. All right, you too,
All
man.
right. Yep. Yep.